Hi, it's John from WKDQ, and I have invited
Mike Sanders, the Sandman from 103 GBF.
And Sandman and I have known each other for a very, very long time, and anybody who knows me knows about my aversion to tattoos. And this has been something that I've been thinking about for a long time, only because tattoos seem to be so much more prevalent in today's society than they ever have been. I mean, everybody has tattoos, and in most cases, multiple tattoos. My wife has a tattoo, for crying out loud. It's only one, it's on her left shoulder blade, but she has one. And Sandman has tattoos now. Now, in fairness, you're tatted up pretty much everywhere, right?
I have about 80 different tattoos.
And you have them on your legs?
My legs, I have it on my chest, on my stomach, my back. Yeah.
Okay, and the best way I know to get into this is to ask you why. What's the allure? What's the attraction?
I think part of it is the rock lifestyle, you know? I mean, a lot of my heroes had tattoos, and I love body decoration. I mean, that's why I've got like some piercings and stuff like that. So I think it's adornment. I think it's decoration. I think, it's addictive also. Once you get
it, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, once you get one, you kind of want another one, unless you got one for a very special reason, a tribute to somebody or something like that. But usually after you get one, you really start the Jones for another, and before you know it, you're like me.
So adornment and decoration,
yeah,
and I'm sure self-expression plays a big role in this.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
I find myself, the only reason I ask is because I find myself, and I hate this, but I find myself wanting to judge somebody based on the tattoos. I mean, to be perfectly honest, if I were walking in a bad area at night and I was being approached by somebody who was just completely tatted up and I was by myself, I would probably cross the street.
Well, the thing is, that exists, that's very prevalent. I mean, there's even a website called Tattoo Acceptance in the Workplace, and how it's becoming more acceptable to have tattoos and stuff like that. What I do, though, I sort of judge people myself by the quality of their tattoos. I mean, you could tell when somebody's like been in jail or something like that and got those kind of tattoos, because they're rough and they're usually just black, black drawings and stuff like that. Or they're done by what we call scratchers, or people who aren't professional tattoo artists. They're not licensed. They tattoo out of their house, or they come to your house or stuff like that. I'm very opposed to that. But as far as good art and good tattoo artists, I love it, man. I'm looking for more places to put stuff.
Do you think that somebody who comes in with obvious tattoos that can't be covered up, because surprisingly, people like police officers have more tattoos than you might think. If you've ever been to Guns N' Hoses, you've seen that, but a lot of them have a policy that they can't go below the bottom of the short sleeve shirt.
Right.
Do you think people get judged when they go in for, say, a job interview?
I definitely do, of course. I definitely do. I think it's becoming better, but there will still be professions that don't allow it. I'm certain of that. Professional people, doctors, lawyers, they've got to keep their stuff covered up. I have a friend who's a lawyer who's really, really heavily tattooed, but then again, like you said, it stops right here. But his chest, his back, his arms, upper arms, all covered.
I think people tend to think that in some ways you look rather, just for lack of a better term, thuggy. Do you think there's some element to that people make that judgment?
I think so.
Based on somebody who's covered in tattoos?
Yeah, I think maybe so. I mean, I get lots of looks, and I'm an extrovert too, so I want people to look at me. That's why I got a multicolored beard. That's why I got, some piercings in my face and a lot of tattoos. So I'm an attention seeker. I've always been. So it works out for me. I can't understand someone that would say I would never get a tattoo, and I think that's what you're saying. I mean, isn't there a circumstance like if you had a close relative pass away or some kind of anniversary that you might get a tattoo of that?
Actually, the reason that I'm doing this is because my attitude has changed somewhat. And you and I have been friends for a very long time. Yeah. You know I love you, and I'm not judging you. I figured you'd be the best one to ask this, but actually my own thought process started to change. When my mother passed away in June, my daughter had my mother's birth date tattooed on, and my initial reaction was, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But then when I thought about it, it was, what better way to honor her grandmother than by doing something permanent? And I have found myself, my wife and I have actually discussed, maybe I'd be open to the idea of getting a tattoo. I'm just trying to reason why I would do it or what it would. I would have to find a circumstance that meant enough to me to want to do that.
What if I told you right now, I could take you to someone that would give you an awesome tattoo, whatever you wanted, whoever you wanted to pay tribute to?
You mean like a temporary one or a regular one? I would do like a temporary tattoo just to see how it looks.
You would?
Yeah, but I could be talked into doing something like that for an event, maybe for a charitable thing like for St. Jude or something like that. I could be tempted to do that, and believe me, I wouldn't trust anybody but you to find a tattoo artist.
Let's go check it out and try it on for size. What do you say?
Okay, I'm all for it. Thanks for your time. I love it.
Nice.
Do I look tough?
Yes.
Do you think mommy's going a little over the top?
Yes.
Next up, leather jacket and a tricked out Harley.